Assalamu alaikum everyone. Sorry for the delay, guys. I was a bit busy these past couple of days because of I started university and I had some other stuff to do as well. I've decided we will be covering the games played by Team Pakistan in the FIDE online Olympiad. So we'll start off with the under 20 section, then female section, and then work our way towards the male section. So representing Pakistan in the under 20 category, we had this player Momin Fayzan. Momin's actually a really nice guy. He's a really great friend as well. He's rated about 2400 at Leeches. He's beaten a lot of national masters both online and over the board. Also, he's the president of the Karachi Grammar School Chess Club. And all in all, he's a great guy who helps fellow chess players a lot. Uh, so he was representing Pakistan, and we had candidate master Carlos Boulos representing Lebanon. Both of these players were born in the year 2004 and have pretty similar ratings as well. So yeah, without much further ado, we'll begin analyzing the game. So Momin had the white pieces, and he began with d4. We have d5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight f6, and with the move g3, we enter into the sort of a Catalan type position. So he continues with bishop e7, bishop g2, castles, castles, knight bd7, queen c2, all normal Catalan stuff. After which black makes the first mistake, well, slight inaccuracy with the move b6. So b6 all just aims to flank with the bishop, try to trade off the light squared bishop, which is usually a good thing. But over here there is certain nuance you should know, which is c captures d5, knight captures d5, and obviously e4 is coming. You will be getting the center, then developing this way. But before that, there's a very special move that needs to be played in this position, which is a3. Very nice move. You're basically taking control over the b4 square, uh, threatening to push b4 in some lines, taking further control over the c5 square, which is quite an important pawn break in this position. So bishop b7, e4 as we mentioned, knight goes back to f6, and knight c3. Simply developing queen c8, lining up the queen with the queen, protecting this bishop as well, and in some lines even pushing c5, which you aim to do. So d1, same idea, controlling this, undermining, I'd say c5, because if you push c5, I'll just show you guys. Push c5, I'll push d5, and after e captures d5, knight captures d5, knight captures d5, even e captures d5, you have a lot of space in the enemy territory. So after knight d1, rook d1, sorry, we have a6. Black is simply keeping his plans unknown, and white replies with h3, a perfectly reasonable move, saying if you continue playing passively, I'll just build up an attack. So uh, b5 and e5, pushing the knight away. Over here, a knight d5 was played. And over here, there are a couple of moves which include, but are not limited to, bishop g5, knight g5. But a moment shared his analysis of the game with me, and he said the move which he played was knight e4. But he said that he'd have preferred to play b4 over here, simply taking control over the c5 pawn push. But he found this idea in the game, which I think is quite nice as well. Knight e4, taking control of the c5 square this way, as well as planning to play knight g5. c5 was played over here, which doesn't work because you simply take d capture c5, knight capture c5, and over here uh, knight g5, g6 protecting mate, and h4. Suddenly, this knight is cemented over here. Obviously, you can't push it away with h6 because this is weakens the dark squares a lot. Either you go back to just go back knight h3, and over here, if the king comes here, you just take the queen over here, and suddenly the square is under a lot of pressure. So you can't simply play h6. So after h4, knight a4, queen goes to d2, threatening some sort of infiltration over here in some lines. Rook d8, setting up a discovery, and over here, knight d4. So knight d4 instantly looked a bit dubious to me, but it holds. The Indian says it holds. The first move I analyzed was bishop over here, right? Because you're going to be pushing this knight away. But the interesting thing to note over here is this bishop is a very important piece because it guards the dark squares, which I feel pretty weak. But okay, it doesn't do much. This is a nice move. Black replied with queen c7, which is an inaccurate move, but it's okay. Bishop c5. I think knight e4, knight bishop captures d4, queen captures d4. It's 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 a bit tricky, but probably this knight is coming over here, and you can either maybe even trade off bishops and do something like this, right? Because this knight over here is terrible. It isn't doing much. So yeah, after queen c7, we had queen e2, and over here rook a8 was played, filing on the c file, nothing new. And over here, Momin finds a very interesting idea, h5. H5, a very attacking move. Obviously, you aren't going to be taking because then this queen comes over here on h5 and it's pretty much mate. It is made, not pretty much made. But here, the engine calls this a blunder, which I was really surprised by. So, opponent replies with knight a b6, which just gives white an immediate attack. But the engine refutation is worth going over. So, I'll just show it to you guys. After h5, the move which was played was, I think, yeah, knight a c3. And just look at this move. You sacrifice the knight. So, b captures c3, and after giving both of the knights. Obviously, there isn't enough compensation over here, and you have to go for this h captures g6. You don't take back the knight. H captures g6, knight captures f7, king captures f7, queen captures e6 check, king g7, knight f5 check, g captures f5, and over here we have a draw by perpetual. It's a pretty crazy line where you sacrifice everything for a draw. But okay, so knight a b6, we have bishop h3. The bishops are traded, which I think was a strategic mistake, but obviously this knight over here was pretty strong. So rook goes to e8, rook ac1, rook d7, rooks are traded off. We have h captures g6, busting open the position. H captures g6. Uh, Bishop goes back to g2 because it wasn't doing much over there anyway. Good choice. So the knight comes over here, hoping to read out itself over here in some lines. Maybe then again over here. Yeah, this would seem accurate. Queen g4. Simple ideas. Trade off this bishop over here. Trade off this knight over here and infiltrate along the dark squares. So knight c6 was played, and I'd like you guys over here to find the winning move. Yeah, as we simply mentioned, Black wasn't able to find that threat over here. So you just simply trade off the pieces, and after queen h4, there isn't much stopping this knight. This is pinned over here. So rook c8, yeah, that's just completely blunders. Knight captures d5. So over here, Moment said that he didn't like why he didn't play bishop captures f5 was due to the fact that white may have some counterplay with queen captures d5 over here, something like that. He said something along the lines of he didn't like the counterplay because there is always a threat of mate. So yeah, after this final blunder, the game was pretty much over. So queen h4 was played. Rook c8 was the last mistake. He took with the rook, giving absolutely no counterplay. And yeah, this just made no more checks and made us unavoidable. So with this move, Momin won his game. I don't know, I'm not sure, but he did say that he had one of the best performances of the in the under 20 category, individual performances. Unfortunately, Pakistan wasn't able to qualify the for the division of which we were in. But alas, that's just how things are. So yeah, this was the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you find more games you'd like me to analyze, do send them to me. Most of you guys have my WhatsApp, or if you don't, just comment and I'll see it. Uh, that yeah, Allah Hafiz. See you next time.